Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. It's a great pleasure to welcome you here tonight. We have webinar Success Application Documents by Consulting Masters in collaboration with SOAS Consulting Society. And today I'm your moderator, Anton Belякov, client manager at Consulting Masters. And let me also please introduce you Jack Chlevinsky, our co-host and co-president of SOAS Consulting Society. Jack, maybe a word to you. Can you, in a few words, introduce yourself here? Consulting Masters. And let me.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Jack, and I'm co-president of SOAS Consulting Society. I'm also a third-year management student at SOAS University of London, and yeah, I'm very excited for today's event. So, in partnership with Consulting Masters, we're going to kind of touch upon a very kind of important topic for me and for many people like me who are interested in breaking into the industry of business management, consulting, business consulting, and financial services, and really writing a good CV, good cover letter, being well prepared for the interview is kind of essential to be considered for either full-time job offers, internships, and graduate schemes. So this is quite an important part in our career. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to finding out a bit more about the whole process today. And yeah, thank you a lot for organizing this event with us.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Great. So now let's know each other better. Guys, I'm talking to you who are here in the Zoom meeting and in YouTube as well. It will require some sort of engagement from your side. Maybe it will help us definitely to understand our audience better. So I will ask you just to put a few words and answer some questions. First question, can you please tell us where you're from? Just write through the chat. The city or country. Bern, Switzerland, from Andre. London, Jack. Zurich, Lawrence. Paris. London. Hello, London here. Okay. It's all Europeans now. Warsaw, Ala from Warsaw. Anyone else? Leicester. Hammond from Leicester. Okay. Thank you. All right. All around Europe. People from around the world. Great. Oh, from India as well. Mumbai. Part from Mumbai. Good. Good. You can also, guys, turn on your cameras, turn on your microphone. You can wave here, say hello. Israel, Oxford, Ursula from Oxford. Nice. All right, thank you. Next question is, why did you decide to attend this webinar? What brought you here? Few words. I'm looking for an internship to an MBA from UK. Okay, thank you, Hammond. I hope I pronounced your name right. Make the best out of my application in consulting, learning from others. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you. Thank you for this answer. Looking for internship jobs from Paul. Elena, to know the requirements for an internship, you will. Internship. Looking for a job from January 2023. Okay, from 2. Trying to make a competitive application for internships. Hamza, thank you very much. Yeah. All right. better understand the application process and how to stand out from part. Ursula, to put my CV in a stronger position when applying for jobs. Great, Ursula. I hope we will help you. We will definitely help you here. Okay, next question. Why are you interested in consulting? What is so interested? Why are you so interested in this? Anyone? Think about it. Well, I'm sure you already thought about it. You'll have some answers. Okay, Hammond. I would love to work for Big Four as a consultant, sorry. Yeah. Extraordinary development and career opportunities. Exactly, Andrea. Indeed. Want to learn how to capitalize on my good social skills. Thank you from Sadhguru. Diversity of projects from Paul, right? I'm going to module consultancy at UniRight. Know how to, seems like a great opportunity. Indeed, Elena. Thank you. All right. All right, thank you for your answers. It will really help us to know you better, to know our audience. And let's keep on going. Oh, money. This is the most common answer for these questions. Yeah, thank you, Andrea. Right, great. Let me say a few words. Oh, and by the way, yeah, the last question: which consulting company would you like to join to? The borrow. Deloitte, Ernst & Young from Lawrence. Deloitte, Hamza. Okay. Andrea wants to join Consulting Masters. You will get this great opportunity, Andrea. PricewaterhouseCoopers, Ernst & Young, Deloitte, Jack. Okay, thank you. Accenture from Part. MBB. Okay, McKinsey, BCG. Yeah, they're all in our list. Yeah. Thank you, BCG from Hammond. All right, great. Thank you for these answers. Let's keep on going. So, well, let me please say some few words about our host, Andrea. Except those things that you can learn from his biography, I would also like to add. I will just briefly say that he made a tremendous career in consulting in Roland Berger as a senior manager. And he worked in Munich, Dubai, in Kiev, and for like past 8 years, since 2014. He's been coaching his mentees to help them to get into top consulting companies. And yeah, it's better if Andre will speak from himself or by himself. Yeah, Andre, it's time to give a word to you.
Hello, everyone, and very warm welcome to our webinar. Yeah, thank you, Anton, for the introduction. Sorry, my multitasking skills have been decreasing since I left consulting, so it was hard for me to type and actually in parallel also to communicate with you guys. I have just one quick question to each one of you. Can you please do a favor for me and turn on your cameras so that we can better see each other, because I don't want just to talk to random publicity. I really want to get to know each one of you more in person, and also use this webinar and use this chat, whether you are looking it on YouTube or in the Zoom. Type your questions into the chat and let's have a live discussion, because I don't want this to be a monologue for the next 40 minutes. I really want to be in touch with you and deliver the value for you. So let me maybe tell you my personal story. so that you have a little bit better idea of with whom you are dealing today. Yeah, I was born and raised in Ukraine, and I was educated in Germany. And 2010, I did my first internship with Roland Berger Strategy Consultants in their Kiev office. And can you imagine, at that age, I was like 21 years old, so probably younger than many of you here. And it was my very first internship in consulting. I was so much excited about the whole industry because already in my second assignment, I have been working for the government of one country, which was preparing to host Winter Olympic Games. So guys, can you actually imagine yourself that you, like 21 years old intern, working for a prime minister of the country and basically making an impact to the event, which will be seen 4 years later on in by more than 1 billion people of audience all around the world, covering all people who are interested for Winter Olympic sports. I mean, to me, honestly, it completely blew up my mind. And therefore, my career became pretty international, and I became very passionate about consulting because I had a privilege to work in more than 10 countries on more than 30 assignments. I was really traveling crazy these days between Western Europe, Central Europe, Eastern Europe, Russia, Seoul in the east, or Dubai on the south. And that was really something very unique to me. That's why I went for consulting, not only for the money. I know that money is is a key motivating factor for many of you, but I wanted to explore this unique career opportunity. And I got a privilege to work with very passionate, very interesting people. I would also say very talented. Many of them were stubborn. Many of them were like as pain, to be honest, because many of them drives me a little bit crazy, or a lot of crazy, got my nuts, but I have been always able to learn from them along the entire 6 years. And I've been climbing through the career ladder very, very fast. And therefore, I visited some of the very exotic locations, like this plant somewhere in the cold Russia, and ate caviar. And I needed, unfortunately, to go to the sauna, to the business, they call it business event with the client. Can you imagine like this? But on the other hand, after it, I went directly to the heat. And my next assignment was in the Middle East, in the desert, in one of the most vulnerable cities in the world nowadays. And I have been working on a very, very innovative solution, which was really unique these days. And I had a feeling like I'm working again for a government, for a prime minister, or for the minister of transportation, trying to deliver with the team the solution that will really revolutionize the mobility landscape in the region. And that was like feeling yourself to be on the front edge of technology was completely unique experience. But on the other side, it was also quite a big mess. So like, there are not only the bright sides of consulting, there are also quite some dark sides, but I would still say that the bright side of the business is so much attractive to me, and I was so happy that I had a chance to spend 6 years in the industry. By the way, if you would like to know more about me, if you would like to get in touch with me, feel free to send me a friend's request to the links that will now appear in the chat. Feel free to connect or follow me either on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or visit our website, consultingmasters.com, because you will always find some very useful information there from stories that I'm sharing, but also find out even more about the company. Feel free to also subscribe to our YouTube channel. By the way, if you're watching this webinar through YouTube, leave your comment, put a like, or don't forget to subscribe and activate your notifications to stay tuned for our future events, which are coming on the weekly basis. And yeah, I'm looking towards to communicate with you across different platforms. You can also subscribe to the social media of Consulting Masters. Now, let's basically move on that. All right, by the way, Elena, you can change your settings because you're writing to me directly, but probably it's better if you write to everyone else so that everyone can see your comments. Yeah, thanks for that. All right, I want to begin this webinar with one very interesting fact. Did you know that only 1% of the candidates who actually apply to the leading consulting firms will actually receive the job offer? Could you please put yes or no into the chat that you can indicate, do you know this fact? So that I can also see some of the reactions from the audience. Because I just want to give you an example from McKinsey. Like, I hope that everyone knows.
Andrea, sorry, we have yes.
Yeah, so I see that
yes,
Ziana says yes. Yeah, very good. Who else knew that fact, or who didn't know that fact? Please indicate just yes or no. I really want to see your responses. So Elena didn't know. Yeah, Lawrence Part knew this fact. Yeah, okay. We have a few more people in the room. So who knew or who didn't know this fact? Okay, Jack also knew that. All right. Very interesting. Very cool. So let's basically
knew that, and he is disappointed too.
Okay, Haza knew it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, two also knew that fact. All right. So just to illustrate this, every year, imagine 200,000 people apply for jobs with McKinsey, want to join the company. However, only 1/3, like 1/3 of them, roughly 30%, or 65,000, will actually get an invite to the imbalance test, which is a problem-solving test with McKinsey these days. And out of those who are tested, your CV will be screened plus your test results. As a result of these two criteria, only 21,000, or just about 10%, or 10.5% to be precisely, for consulting, will be actually invited to the first interview round. And 90% of the people, like 180,000 roughly, will be out selected here. So do you guys now understand why we're talking about CV today? Why is that so important for you? Like, how to make sure that you are not belonging to this 90% who are out selected, who will not even get invited to an interview, but who will actually be invited to the interview and receive the chance to present yourself. Because then out of 21,000, for the first interview round, 6,800 will pass to the next round, but only 2,200 candidates will actually land a job offer. So it's about 1.1% of the initial figure of 200,000. So that's why CV is so much important. And yeah, you're right, Ziana. You need to know why you need to stand out. And basically, our job, our mission of our company is to help you to become that 1%. Because we're so much motivated, and we think that you deserve it. And it's a difficult path, but we strongly believe that together we can help you to go this way along with us. Because our team, I'm just one of the experts and the founder of the company, but we also have other experts, my colleagues in the team, and together we combine more than 15 years in consulting and more than 12 years of coaching experience. But I think that what is really even more important is that within the last 3 years, we were able to help more than 593 candidates up to that date, who found their job in consulting, and they joined all the leading consulting firms, starting with McKinsey, BCG, and Bain, or Tier 1 consulting company like Frollenberger Strategy and Oliver Wyman Kearney, or Big Four or boutique consulting firm. Yeah, so basically 593 people. Those of how many, if I may ask? Well, I don't know, Lawrence. We only count those people who actually made to the job offer, and if they subscribe to our VIP programs, it's almost like 10 out of 10 who completed that training. So, and today I want to talk to you about the CV, about the structure of the strong CV, about the top mistakes which needs to be avoided, and give you, of course, the examples of really good CVs, as well as tips and tricks during the interactive Q&A. So I would strongly encourage you to participate and to put your questions either on YouTube as comments or in the Zoom if you are attending it here, so that we can have a really lively discussion. Because as an ex-recruiter to consulting, I've been interviewing candidates for Central Europe, for the DACH region, which covers Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, for the Eastern European offices, as well as for the offices in the Middle East. And I strongly believe that a really good CV is just complete must for every one of you, in order just at least to have a chance for an interview. Okay? So guys, would you like to know what are the top criteria for the CV? Like, what does your CV needs to entail? Please write down into the chats, either yes or no. Please put plus if you want to indicate that you would like to desire to get it. Lawrence, triple plus. Anyone else interested in finding out the insights? Yeah, from Jack. Yes, Sadiq here, Arjish. All right, cool. Then let's get it started. Well, in a nutshell, basically, what big consulting companies are really looking for, they want to see the truly well-recognized big brands as employers or big schools. But they also value a lot top academic performance, especially very high GPAs. They are also sometimes looking for highly standardized test scores, especially in math or GMAT, these kind of tests, as well as evidence of your leadership and especially important your people skills. And for more advanced candidates in other career levels, they are also looking at high achievement career experiences, like quick promotions, if that is applicable. So now let's basically focus, like, would you really like to know how to write a proper CV and what to write in every section? Yeah, okay. So here you can see an example of a really good CV of a candidate whom we helped to prepare and who is currently already working in consulting. So let's basically see what are the things what it really takes on. So every their CV consists of 4 key sections. This is professional experience, education, leadership and extracurricular activities, as well as some additional skills and interest information. I would strongly recommend each one of you to put your CV just on 1 page. And please use conventional fonts like Arial or Times New Roman. The font size could be 11 or more, and feel free to play with margins within the reason. It's really easier for you if you put everything just on 1 page. I have seen in my practice CVs which are like about 5 or I think the longest one was about 10 pages that I have seen. As a former recruiter, I would really tell you that no one is even going to read these long kind of CVs. So don't waste my time and your time in that. And make sure that for every experience or role, you need to clearly indicate your organization and dates. And just try to describe it all in 1 line. Then, if we are going into sections, especially like professional experience, make sure that your bullet points are consistent. Ideally, they should be 1 or maximum 2 lines. So don't write too long bullet points, but make them up to the point and try to always start them with an action verb in the past indefinite tense, like managed, increased, designed, built, established, whatsoever. And then you do the description and try to make in every bullet the demonstration of a personal impact whenever it is possible. Try to add as many facts, figures, numbers, percentages to your bullet points as possible. Just to give you an example. So that guy is writing that he reduced software bugs, a backlog of 10 years by 100% by leading a 3-member team of automation test engineers. So basically, he is showcasing the clear impact that he was able to create, plus his leadership skills in this just 1 bullet point. Yeah, and generally speaking, make sure that your bullet points demonstrate a balanced mix of the following skills. It could be either problem solving, or leadership, or entrepreneurial drive, or personal impact, or team skills. So far, so good. Please just give me your indications that you are able to follow me. Okay. All right, let's move on. So now let's start with an education section. And here, it's just very important that you are listing your GPA for every degree, unless it's extremely low. And what really helped me to further strengthen my CV were the awards, the scholarships, and the grants that I was able to receive. So, for example, as one of 14 Ukrainian students, I was highly privileged to receive an exclusive full coverage scholarship for studying in Germany from DEADE, which is a German academic exchange service. These and other scholarships clearly pointed out that I was as one among the top 10% of the students for the cohort. And therefore, if you have these kind of things, just make sure that you really include it. So, for example, that person, studied at ESCP Business School, Master of Business Administration, and his grades were 16.6 out of 20, which is among top 10% of the class. Or in his Master of Technology degree, he was among the first class with distinction, or among top 1%, top 5, top 10%. So if you are able to indicate these kind of things in your CV, it will be highly beneficial for you and for the recruiter. So just make sure you can cover it. All right, then if you're talking about work experience, by the way, guys, are you with me? Can you just indicate whether you are able to follow, whether you have any questions, or whether you whether this is like good tips for you? Okay, I see yeses from Hamza, Hafsa. Yeah, all right, Camden, Anastasia. Yeah, all right, perfect. So work experience. Now let's talk about meat and bones, I would say. In this section, just list 2, 3, maximum 4 relevant experiences that you can have and where you can describe very impactful skills that you have gained there. So if you have more experience, just you can leave them out. And make sure that each of these experiences is done in a very simultaneous way, in a very consistent way, because consistency is really key. So it might be having the same number of bullet points, and those bullet points are described in the similar manner, in the way I showed it to you. So you can describe every experience using 3 to 5 bullet points. So, for example, for this candidate, just to give you an example of what he's done at his experience with Reverse Logistics Group, for example, he has been an external strategy consultant, and he built a strategy, he established a market entry, and he designed a business model. So you see that his bullet points, they all begin in the same way, right? Then basically established a market entry strategy for a patented product to acquire the market of 500 million in the US. You see here, he claims the direct target and he quantifies this target. So he adds facts, figures, numbers, percentages, monetary value whenever possible. And then to manage the disposal of wastes created by food and beverage packaging industry. Okay. Or for example, in the next experience, he developed a go-to-market strategy for an IoT-based product focused on ROI and market attractiveness to acquire 30% market share. So do you have now the feeling of how your bullet points needs to be described in the CV? Please indicate with yes and no. Anton, I think there is a question from Lawrence. These kind of questions, which are a little bit longer, let's leave them for the Q&A, okay? But just make sure that we get back to that question before. Sure. Afterwards. Okay, guys. All right, still with me? Let's now move on to the next section. So if we're talking about extracurricular achievements, so this section again contains between 1 to 3 experiences, and each experience should be detailed using 1 to 2 bullet points. And for example, what are the examples of really good activities that could be used here? So like leading a university club. Just look at Jacek Slovinsky, our co-host. That guy is leading the University of SOAS Consulting Society, of SOAS University. So that guy definitely has something to write in his CV. So take the example from Jacek. Yeah, lead the university club, or lead the team in the case competition, or make the leading role in the charity or political party, or maybe you founded a side business or a startup during studies, or maybe you've built an app or a website or done a physical project, or maybe you've been working as a part-time to finance your studies, or maybe you have done this and that. Really expose yourself. I mean, in my case, I have been elected as a member of the Students' Commission and Students' Parliament. So I was like a delegated person. That's what I mentioned in my CV those days, because this social engagement was really important. So find the thing what you could be passionate about, and how you can serve to other people in your spare time, because yeah, it will always pay off. Definitely showcase and highlight your extracurricular and leadership experience. All right. Okay, so in your these are the examples of the leadership activities. So for example, that candidate led a team of 40 people to manage company level events with 0.5 million budget. Again, you see, even here, that person tries to quantify it and provides some key data and facts about it. All right. Now, last but not least, many people forget about it, but it's also very interesting to showcase your additional skills and interests. And in this section, it might covering your language skills or IT skills or hobbies. And it can also include some programming language or some IT skills if you have them. And bear in mind, hobbies are optional, but I personally, I would encourage you strongly to include them, definitely. So in my case, I think I'm currently fluent in 4 languages, and I'm learning just 3 more. So my native is Ukrainian and Russian. I grew up bilingual. I'm not bad in English and not bad in German, I would say. And I used to learn Polish and Arabic, and since 3 weeks I'm learning French. So yeah, if you have something to write, feel free and go ahead about it. And I just really want to emphasize that if I'm an interviewer, I would be really interested to get a little bit to know a little bit more about your personal interests. I would really like to know what are your hobbies, because you can imagine, guys, like I as a recruiter, I've reviewed so many CVs, and they all are the same, from top universities, with the best marks and with top experience in internships. They like all the same. What changes is like the photos and the names of the person. But one thing, how you can distinguish yourself from the others, is what is written on the bottom of your CV in the field about your interests. So just have a look at what this candidate wrote. So that candidate wrote that he was a lead singer and a percussionist in the band since 9 years. I would say it's a really cool hobby. What do you think, Anton?
I don't know what to say. Yeah, never done anything like that before.
Yeah, but he is also a mountain biking enthusiast, and he was a wildlife photographer and personal motivator and coach. So I would say a pretty interesting and brilliant personality to talk to during the interview. Because remember, everything what you write in your CV could be used in your favor and against you during the interview. And I would say that these are the things that could be really used in your favor. So, for example, I wrote about myself that, among others, I went for a walk between two cities for a distance of about 100 kilometers on foot. And like almost everyone person during the interviews asked me about this hobby. So that's why use your chance to point yourself out of the crowd to make sure that you can mention something really interesting about yourself in your CV. Guys, can you maybe indicate some interesting hobbies that you are having in the chats? What do you think? I'm simply looking for the most extraordinary hobby. Like, guys, just mention in the chat what are the most extraordinary hobby that you are having, which you might be indicating in your CV. Can you leave it in the comment field? All right. While others are writing, I would proceed to the next one. Okay, handcrafting, Dimitri. I love traveling. Have traveled to 30 countries so far. So yeah, that's amazing, especially despite COVID restrictions of the past years. All right, very cool. By the way, it's a nice way how you can quantify your traveling. Like you mentioned traveling, and in brackets you put visited 30 countries in 4 years, for example. Yeah, photography. Okay, yeah, perfect. By the way, if you were a captain or a league player or a big sportsman in the past, like, I don't know, captain of the basketball team, or something like this, cricket, football, whatsoever, it's always very, very good to indicate this in your CV as hobby, because it also showcases that you are an overachiever on the one side, and on the other side that you have clear leadership skills, that you know how to lead the teams to win. All right, collecting sugar sticks from cafes. Anastasia, that's amazing. I'm interested in astronomy, and I'm doing an online course to develop my understanding from Camden. Collecting playing card decks. Okay, all right, perfect. All right, guys, would you like to know what are the top 5 steps how to actually get the job offers from the leading consulting companies, or maybe even financial services or whatever the firms? Just please put yes or put a plus in the chat so that I can see that you are following. All right, perfect. So I would say that there are typically 5 key steps that you need to be ready to take in order to succeed in consulting. So basically, no matter whatever the company, they all are the same. Number 1, I would say you always need to have a plan, a sort of an application strategy. Like what kind of companies would you like to get into? How to approach each one of them, as well as, of course, preparing your CV and your cover letter, because these are the most important documents that needs to be ready for every application. Then, of course, you need to set up the interviews through networking, because networking nowadays, especially during the pandemic, has been the most successful instrument to secure your interviews. So if you get to know, if you have friends or people whom you might be knowing who are currently working with the company of your dreams, so many of you wrote McKinsey, BCG, Roland Berger, or Big Four companies. If you already have friends there, then yeah, ask them to help you out, and maybe they can share your CV with a recruiter, or otherwise, alternatively, make friends over there. And then, if you got lucky to get selected to those 10% who are invited to those interviews, then just make sure that you are really very well prepared, both for the personal fit part as well as to the case part of the interview, because they both are equally important and assessed. And in order to do so, don't forget one thing. You need to pass 6 to 8 interviews before you get the final job offer. So you need to make sure that you are able to show a very consistent performance throughout the all interview rounds. Not only just crack one case or one interview or one personal fit discussion, but you need to crack 6 of them consistently of various difficulty of various topics. And then, yeah, if you have trained yourself really very well on that, then I'm pretty sure that the results and that the fruits will come very soon for you, and you will hopefully be one among of this 1%. Okay. Actually, I also wanted to let you know that that's exactly what we do. We are helping people like you, students, MBAs, young professionals, or experienced hires to go through that process hand in hand, because we help you to identify the right objectives, the right strategy, how to approach each company, what are the different strategies that you might be having. We also help with polishing your documents, with all the documents review, to make your CV look really very nice. As well as we do help with our networking strategies and the whole network that of former consultants and our friends and our mentees who are working in this industry, and then guide you through the entire interview preparation process end to end until your offers, until you will basically receive the offer. And then we even have a special program which we call like making yourself consulting ready, especially help you to pass the first 100 days and become a star consultant to get promoted even faster, because this is a truly competitive, truly exciting industry, and there is so much in it that we want to share with you. And therefore, yeah, I'm also very happy to share that over the past few months, more than 17 of our mentees got 33 job offers with all the leading consulting companies, which are here, ranging from McKinsey up to EY-Parthenon, from Bain to Portas or Arthur de Lille, and they also have, I would say, pretty decent pay, between 57,000 and 218,000 US dollars. So yeah, that's what you can count on in consulting, depending on the region, position, and your function. And I actually want to share with you some of recent examples of our mentees. But let me tell you actually about just one very particular example of our recent mentee. I'm really very proud about this mentee. Do you think your background is important in consulting, especially during your application? Who of you thinks that it is important, or who of you thinks that it's not relevant? What do you think, guys? Can you just indicate in the chat? Jack, what do you think? Is the background important? What have you studied or not really? So all depends on your skills. Yeah, Anastasia, I think that you have really good intuition, because I want to present to you Iram, and Iram came to us just about a year ago, and she was a former opera singer. So, guys, can you actually imagine an opera singer who becomes a consultant? An artist and entrepreneur who actually wants to do a career shift. Like, what do you think about it? And when she came to us, I think that her biggest challenge was actually is like self underconfidence in extreme way, because she was like so much self-doubting. She had a really good friend who were working with McKinsey or BCG, but she was asking like constantly, Andre, do I have any chances at all with my background? Is this the right thing for me, or how can I basically compete with people with business background and overcome my handicap? Like, guys, just put yourself in her shoes, and can you really imagine what kind of obstacles she had, especially in her head? And one of my key priorities, and together with other experts in our team, was to help her to break this pattern, to really strongly believe in herself and strengthen her mentally, to develop the winning attitude. And then, of course, like, we helped her to polish her CV. Like, can you imagine how does the CV for opera singer looks like? And how does the consultant CV looks like? What, just explain me the three major differences. Nevertheless, we were able to back her so much and her skills that she got invited by McKinsey and BCG. Of course, also with the help of our networking approach. But guys, it's like really crazy that these companies were looking for her as a young female talent. And then we supported and coached her really intensively throughout the entire process with McKinsey and BCG London. And yeah, I mean, she didn't make it easy, because in her final interview round, she was even sick with COVID, and in her final partner case interview, she was under the fever of 38, and nevertheless, she made it, and she received an offer at BCG. She has completed an internship, and now the offer is also converted into the full-time position. And I'm so much proud of her. And guys, do you think, is it basically inspiring for you? Do you believe that you are also good enough to get into consulting? If even Iram managed to do so, just write it into the chat. I was so pleased to work with her, and I'm like, really, I'm so much fond of to work with very talented people here and help them to become more efficient. So if you think whether you are good enough for a consulting, I have a gift for you. We have a limited number of seats, but I can actually offer for you for free. You can apply for a strategy session with our experts. I will make it completely free of charge for you, and it will help you to bring your the clarity to where do you stand and what do you actually need to achieve, and how to achieve this in order to break into consulting or financial services or other leading industries. And this session actually includes the situation audits, where together with our experts, you will discuss and get an opportunity to discuss where you're currently standing and what are your objectives. You will get a very honest feedback on your situation with some tips. We guarantee the personal approach to define the specific next steps. And we can align on the points where you might be needing help with, so that it will become very clear to you how to start, where to start, and what direction you need to move. Are you serious about consulting, or are you serious about getting an internship or a job offer in the nearest future? Just put yes into the chat so that I can see that. Yes, 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 sure. Guys, then in that case, all what you need to do is, as in every application, just send your CV and complete just a brief motivation, maybe 1 or 2 paragraph maximum, about why do you really want to go for consulting, like what's your background and what drives you crazy about it, and send your CV to the customer.service@consulting-masters.com to our email, and our expert will get in touch with you. So use your chance to apply, and Georgie is more than happy to lead this discussion with you and to help you to identify, bring you the clarity, give you the tips, and together with you align on the potential next steps in order to help you to succeed. Would you like to become maybe a mentee 594 or 595 who also gets into consulting? We're more than happy to help you here. And if you are watching this on YouTube, or I will also encourage you to subscribe to our channel, put a like or leave a comment under this video. Also, activate your notification button to get invited to our future events. Now there is the link that you might be following here, and yeah, I'm more than happy to help you here, because on our YouTube channel you will find all the latest webinar recordings plus so many useful materials. I mean, in some of the videos I am reading actually the comments like, Andre, thank you so much for the webinar. It did help me to get an offer from the company XYZ. So it was extremely helpful. So therefore, use this source and activate it. And also talk about us in the social media. Share the information with about Consulting Masters with your friends. Or tag us in your stories or posts. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I really want to invite you to join us in our future events. So you can actually book your seat now and register for the following 2 webinars. In 1 week, we will be conducting a very, very particular webinar, which is about consulting interview, but from the interviewer's perspective, where I will tell you, when I was an interviewer, how did I perceive the whole process? Like, how does the whole process looks like? What happens behind the scenes of the recruiting and hiring in consulting companies? And what are the requirements to the candidates? And like, if I'm talking about the candidate, when can I actually identify as an interviewer whether this candidate will make it or not? What are the top mistakes which the candidates bomb actually the interview, and why 9 out of 10 will not get an offer during the interview, and what are the other things? What else do you need to know in order to ace your interviews and nail the job offer? And the other webinar will be a real-life consulting interview simulation, how to crack a profitability case, where together with GCC, like Graduate Consulting Club in Switzerland, on the 14th of November, we will be cracking a profitability case. So feel free to register to that, follow the links in the description, either here in the chat or in the comments to this video. Put a like, leave a comment, tag us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and yeah, let's keep in touch. And now I'm more than happy to answer all of your questions if you might have any.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you. Now we are in a Q&A session. In this part, you're gonna answer all your questions. I'm reminding Lawrence that he had a question.
Yes, thank you for the nice presentation, Andre. So my question is about the professional experience. Do you think it's more important to highlight specific like successful points in your career, or is it better to focus on being specific to the job you're applying for? For example, I'm applying for emerging tech consultant position. Do you think I should highlight how I implemented new technologies, or should I also highlight that I introduced a new process for R&D, which is not so specific for the position, but a nice success, how I think, at least.
Okay, I would say there should be a combination of both. I mean, Lawrence, first of all, thank you very much for your question. Yeah, and generally speaking, if you have a lot of experience, so for example, for the positions that I applied in the past, I was just picking out most relevant things for that job. But I was, so for example, I had 6 internships, but only 3 or 4 were relevant. Why to mention all of them? If I do have like 3 more most relevant, but it's also very good to showcase on the other side that you have done something different, also successful. So if you have a good combination of very relevant skills and expertise plus other successful projects as bullet points within other activities, it's a good mix, I would say. Just make sure that you are consistent with that. And in your cover letter, which is another document, but yeah, is another topic for another webinar, I would say, you could highlight specifically and point out like what are the reasons why they need to hire you. You can refer specifically to those projects and skills that you bring to the table. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right, perfect. Cool. Yeah, does anyone else want to introduce themselves and
thank you, Lawrence.
Questions?
Yeah, guys, we have some questions from Hafsa. Hafsa, you can turn on your camera and address your question here. You like?
I just wanted to ask, because we are, I think most of us are still undergraduates. I just wanted to know if we should put the education section first before our work experience in our CV.
If you have only education, then put education first. If you have relevant work experience, I don't know, for example, you've used to do an internship at KPMG, Big Four, whatsoever, or a bank, etc., then you can already start with the work experience. But definitely put what is the most up to date first. If it's studies, then put studies. If it's internship or your first full-time job, then do the full-time job. Does that answer your question, Hafsa?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Anyone raise the hand?
I see Jack raised his hand. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. First and foremost, thank you so much for this amazing event. It's really insightful to kind of learn all those things, especially the point where you mentioned where we kind of put different things on our CV, and we always want to kind of take them into our advantage. So obviously, if we're very kind of unsure and not very confident about one of our like minor hobbies or some experience that we didn't kind of contribute to which that much, it's better to leave it out because we might get a very hard question. I was wondering in terms of like CVs and like the layout, because that's one of the things that many people are also kind of not really sure about. What are like the worst things that you've seen in terms of like layout, whether people were like putting their CVs into like tables or something like this, and what's really the thing that we should avoid, except for the fact that I guess the CV that you showed us is like kind of ideal layout wise.
Yeah, I didn't want to show you bad CVs intentionally, because I didn't want to link you into the wrong direction. I already wanted you to go to the right direction. I mean, in my past, when I was scrolling through those CVs, I saw really horrible things. I saw some method things. I saw bullet points which were not bullet points. I saw things that they were not aligned. The CV was dirty. It was not cleaned. It was like complete mess and disorganized. Therefore, I prefer personally, and I think it's a general standard in consulting. Everything should be clean, everything should be organized, and everything should be, the key word is consistent. Yeah. So consistency is really the way that you describe your experiences, plus that you try to enhance it with numbers, facts, figures, percentages as much as you can. In order to showcase your skills and the personal impact that you was able to create. And you also need to showcase this, in, I would say, using some consulting language. But I think that it is really best to show it on a certain example. So all the people found out like there is such a huge difference between their CV, which they got initially before our review and after the session with us, or after a video course. I mean, we even have a special video course about how to write the CV or how to write the cover letter. So there are so many small details and small nuances that really play a major role, whether you are selected and given a chance for an interview or not. I hope I was able to clarify your question.
Yeah. That's very helpful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jack. Yeah, Anton, I saw there was another raised hand.
Hi, that's me.
Yeah, we have a raised hand from Anna. Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for this event. When you were talking about the hobbies, I actually was thinking really hard about my hobbies, and I thought, well, I think politics is one of my hobbies, but then is it too controversial to put it on your CV? Because, you know, like everyone can have different opinions, and if they would ask me, for example, the interviewer would ask me some political question, it could turn badly for me as well. So should I avoid it, or can I put maybe something more specific like Eastern European politics if I'm applying in the UK, or is that something to avoid?
If you are talking about politics, what specifically do you mean as a hobby? Can you quantify it, or how can I understand, or have you created an impact, or I don't know, are you playing politics or being part of politics since 8 years, or how can you make it specific?
Okay, so maybe political activism, to be more precise. So
so
I don't know,
political in support, maybe like work for an NGO for 3 years, or just
not really NGOs, but politicians who are, I don't know, fighting authoritarianism or something along those lines. So like, I'm a big fan of Navalny, but I don't really know how to put it well on the CV, or I don't know if it's even a good idea to do something like that.
And that's a little bit controversial in the way that you are describing this, because it's always like a distinguishment. In your case, politics looks like, it's your opinion, it's your belief, but there is not that much activity besides that hobby in your specific case. When I was doing politics, or when I was active in politics, I organized the demonstrations, which were more than 1,000 people came to that, and it was during Munich Security Conference. So I could have written about it, or I could, in fact, I think once upon a time I even talked about this hobby, or but it was a completely different aspect, because we really, with our demonstration, we were able to achieve results, and we were able to create impact. So you see, it's again people skills and some other stuff that we can sell as consulting relevant experience. So you see, it all depends on the context.
Okay, thank you.
All right, makes sense to you?
Yeah.
All right, perfect, cool. Thank you, Anna. Do we have any other questions?
Well, we do. Oh, we have Lawrence. Yes, please.
Yeah, fine if I go again. If no one else has any questions, I would have another one for the software part. So in the CV, you were showing that someone highlighted he's proficient or advanced in any software. Do you think it's okay to write it in a sentence like utilize Minitab, ClickSense, Microsoft Power BI to deliver statistical analysis and process module and intercompany dashboards, like as a sentence, or would that be too overflowing?
Still on, I would strongly encourage you just to list the things through with commas. Like, I don't know,
okay,
Microsoft Office, comma, Power BI, comma, etc.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
because I put it in sentences, and I realized maybe it's a little bit too much.
Yeah, cool. I also see the question in the chat from Arzish, if I'm not mistaken. Arzish, if you would like to turn on your camera and ask your question and briefly introduce yourself. Arzish, are you in the line? Well, probably not. Then I think there was another participant who raised the hand. Who was that? Please indicate yourself.
We have Emily.
Emily, could you please briefly turn on your camera, briefly introduce yourself and ask your question?
Hello, my name's Emily. My question is, I've had a background in debating and politics especially, but I've never really done anything particular to consulting or financial services. You know, I regularly keep up, I regularly, I engage with that stuff, but I've never actually had that work experience in that orient. So I don't know how to move about, how to figure out writing the CV, because everything on my CV is just very relevant to what I've done, and I don't know how to make it relevant to a very specific industry. That makes sense.
Yes. Hi, Emily. Pleasure to meet you. And what's your question?
Oh, you haven't heard me?
Yes. What's your question?
Oh, basically the question is, I don't know how to maneuver this, like when most of your background is in different kind of fields and industries, how do you make it relevant to an application like that?
Well, the thing is that no matter what you do, you apply certain skills. And I'm pretty sure that you probably, in what you are currently doing, even applied some of the skills that could be transferable to consulting. Because what do you think about Iran? Did she apply so many consulting skills in the opera?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
But if you would actually look inside of it, we helped her to transfer her experience into the relevant skills and put it into consulting language, which could become understandable. So what I'm trying to say is that it's possible to reconfigure and reconstruct your CV in the way that it can become very attractive to the most prestigious consulting companies. Of course, it will require time and quite a lot of effort. I will be honest with you. I mean, I've used to work probably 5 or 7 sessions just purely on the application strategy with Iram and on her documents, but it's possible. I mean, if you are serious about it, then just apply with your motivation and with your CV, and make the first step and have a call with an expert in our team. And after the conversation with Georgie, we can basically discuss what could be the specific way forward for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Do we have anyone left on YouTube or Zoom?
No, we have one more question in the chat too.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you like to raise your hand?
Would you like to speak up?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Can you see me?
Yes. Hi, too.
Okay. So my question is, currently I'm doing the consulting projects for companies in the biotechnologies industry as per my final thesis. And my question is, how can I incorporate that kind of experience into my CV and highlight it as my strength? Thank you.
You can perfectly do that as part of your either professional experience or your extracurriculum or other experience. So, or you can put this also in the education section. It actually depends specifically on what you do and where is the right place do so. But I would say you can also apply for a strategy call with Georgie and send your CV as well as your motivation for consulting to customer.support@consulting-masters.com. If you are serious about consulting and if you are selected, then you can win a strategy call where we can help you. And if needed, we can also later on help you to review and polish your documents. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, perfect. Then I think
Thank you
we
too.
are
Andrea,
about. Do we have any?
we have some
questions?
other question. Yes, Andrea. Yeah, from Camden.
Okay. Yeah.
Will you please turn on your audio camera? Hi.
Hi, I hope you can see me.
Oh, hi,
Andrea,
Camden. Welcome back.
Hi, it's nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Thank you for another great session. I just wanted to ask about how important your A-level or IB grades would be if you were applying to a consulting firm.
Well, ideally, you should have them, I would say, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for candidates with top grades. You can overcome this and compensate this, but if you have them, definitely highlight them. So, for example, I was among top 1% of my school year, or due to that scholarship that I received, I was like among top 14 students from Ukraine who had a privilege to get a scholarship for studies in Germany. So that was something which distinguished me from the others. So if you have something like this, definitely provide this. If you don't have it, yeah, I mean, we can always still see on the way around how to overcome it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Camden. And I'm also looking towards to see you in our future events. So yeah, if you stayed with us until so far, I really want to say a big thank you to every one of you who stayed. And yeah, it was a great privilege with you. So feel free to register yourself and book the seats to our future events as consulting interview from the interviewer's perspective, or real life consulting interview simulation, simply by following the links and in the description. And on the other way, let's keep in touch. Feel free to connect to me or to Consulting Masters. Send us friend requests on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or follow us. Yeah, activate YouTube notification button, or simply leave your comment if you like this video. And yeah, I really want to say thank you so much for everyone who came to that webinar, and a special thanks also goes to Jacek for helping us to organize and co-host this event with SOAS Consulting Society and SOAS University. Jacek, Czech, and yeah, dziękuję bardzo.
Yeah, dziękuję bardzo. Yeah, thanks for organizing this amazing event. I'm quite sure that it was very helpful for everyone who's joined. So definitely, I'm looking forward to the next event as well. And yeah, thanks again.
All right. Thank you to the team. Thank you, Anton, for moderating this and for all the support. And yeah, now I also see some comments from Emily. Thank you. It has been incredibly insightful. Thanks, Andre. Great event. Also, thanks to the hosts. I will join the next event for sure. Lawrence, looking towards to see you then. Too, thank you so much. And thank you. It was super interesting and helpful from Hamza. All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Time flies. Thank you very much for joining, for watching this video, and we'll look towards our future webinars. Stay tuned and take care. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Woo! We made it.